Machpelah. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'achad. I had everyone in mind. Techechi Klal Yisrael was empty. It was a task to get a minyan for Maidim. Although there is it seems like a group of old people that sit and learn there every day. There was once someone came to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe mentioned there was a Rav in the Rav of Hebron a few generations ago, who was a chassid of the Mittler Rebbe, said that the Mittler Rebbe told him Hebron is, machuber, that when there is the Schabras, three midas of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and that all the tefillas go through Hebron. And the person asked the Rebbe, but the tefillas are through Yerushalayim. So I think what the Rebbe said was, okay, but look, this is what the Mittler Rebbe said. Maybe he also answered something, but I don't remember what it was. Recently was actually the Yorah site of the Rebbe Zemanim Rochel. The Rebbe Zemanim Rochel is considered Adet Tzmayim Azeh, the mother of Hebron. The Mittler Rebbe told his daughter to move to Hebron, and she moved to Hebron, and she was a very strong personality. It was recently there was an interview with a member of the government. Today's government actually lives in Kiryas Arba, a woman who said that her inspiration is that Rebbe Zemanim Rochel. Rebbe Zemanim Rochel came to Hebron until today. There was the building where she lived, and the bed she slept on, like on a hard rock. Rabbonim would come ask her advice, and business people, v'chulu v'chulu. She was a very strong leader of the community of Hebron. Over time, a big chunk of the people of Hebron were her descendants. So l'chaim, it's exciting to be by the cave of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and the Emmaus, Sarah, Rivka, and Leah. And this is a place where he didn't daven for a very long time. The Rambam writes it was a special day of a Yom Tov for him. He was able to go to the Kivrei Yavis. I mean, this is actually in a building that's been built by in the time of the Beis Hamikdash. That's why you see the stones. They look the same like the Kaisel, because the building on top of the double Ma'ora, Maras Machpelah, was actually built by Hordus. There was some, I think, in 1981. There was some of the Hebron from Hebron and Slichas. They krieged there. And there's a place called Heichel Yitzchak. The davening now is on an upper floor. The Maras Machpelah is much underneath. But the place which sadly is closed off for Yidden, which is Maras Yitzchak, originally was a mosque, and then became the Nazis made it into a Beit Tifla, and now it's again a mosque. But that's really where there is the entrance to the cave, which is underneath. And in 1981, there was a group of people from the Yidden that live in the Kiryat Arba that opened up the door. There's all kinds of mystical stories about Suleiman the Great that sent a few people down, and the Goyim all died, and there was one Yid. There's all kinds of that. The Yid went to Betchibu Echimo, he saw Avraham Avinu, and he later lived only for a few days. But the fact is that the 1981, there was a group of people that went through the door, which is called Pesach Gan Eden, and the Heichel Yitzchak. The Heichel Yitzchak is closed. It's open 10 days a year. They open it for the Jews. I was there once when it was open for Jews. So there's a place where it was called Pesach HaGan, which you can call Pesach HaGan. That's really a closed door that's been closed for hundreds of years. As I said, this place has been built in the time still the Beis HaMikdash by Hurdus, which was Jewish king. The steps they went down the steps and they went through a long corridor, and they found it was actually a ma'ora, a machtela. It's a double. There's a ma'ora, and then there's a little opening goes into a deeper ma'ora. So okay, the tefillahs go up. They shall help from all the tefillahs from everyone here in Beis Menachem Mendel, but the Klal Yisrael should be oil and iskabel the ikris shebet tzachazenu inenu b'shuf tzitzim berach. We have copies for tonight. A little bit of a difficult sugya, but since we already made the copies, we'll just keep the schedule. I mentioned this in the last week or 2 weeks ago. Was in the Shiur, there was a Rav in Krenitz. He was actually, his son was all about Chassidim now. The grandfather of Ramanas Friedman. Anyway, I told the story at length. I'm not going to go back to it. But anyway, there's this beautiful tshuva in Eretz Tzvi, who was a Choshev Rav in Poland before the war, and he was a Rav and the Rosh Yeshiva also in Yeshivas Chacham Lublin. The Kovet Kedushas Harav Agon HaKodesh Pe'er Adoir Chulu v'chulu Admoir and Rav Tzadik Miku. The Gerer Rebbe, presumably this is the Imre Yemes, Kasher Kvod Kedushas Kasher Kvod Kedushas Shlita probably Hoya Bekrenetz Ebil Lefone Retzone Ator Kedos Malasas Bini Kabbalah Shabbos Kedos Melchem Vani Oni Amarti Asher Bebeis Kasafte Binyazeh. He said that the Krenitz was a vacation city, and the Gerer Rebbe was walking, and he bumped into the Eretz Tzvi. So he asked them, what's the story with the Shtiblach that they daven Mincha Shabbos late? I mean, what was bothering him? So you'll see in a minute what seemingly was bothering him. Vani oni amarti asher basic osafte minyazeh. Hini milatzim asher osafte beoni binyazeh b'siyayit d'shmai alas tzitzoin tzaveh zel l'shayin. Turn the page again. I have 10 copies of this booklet, and Shur parents gave everyone the copies. Ba'oidi ani novach v'ni kabbalah Tetzaveh Shabbos mitzvah deraisa tzarach l'kabel Tetzaveh Shabbos kedem ben hashmosh l'shkos l'kam beitza v'shulchan aruch oirachem tzimerish samachalav tzimbeis tzarach Shiur v'hadayon. That on the one hand, Tetzaveh Shabbos a mitzvah deraisa has to be done in a bisman that's v'hadayon. V'hayon shemesayim mincha beroi bot medrosh zmot iknesiz v'gam b'shtibl achar shkiz acham. Him came Moshe Kabul Tetzaveh Shabbos. When are they going to do the mitzvah of Tetzaveh Shabbos? Im Kabul b'Shos Baruch Hu. Yidol b'Kabul Shabbos Natam Baruch Hu. Oz Kfar Over Azman. So the Zman Tetzaveh Shabbos is really over. Even in Ben Hashmosh, it's not Azman Tetzaveh Shabbos. It's like the Alter said. Mushba Ve'emet Marasina. You have to give extra time from your own time, not the time that doesn't belong to you. It has to be machoil ala kodesh. Moments that are vadei choil, you have to add it to the kodesh. So go back. That as soon as the sun set, that's when the Ben Moshe starts. According to Goyim, V'hemer of Shiur going, v'reb Hai going, v'reb Nisim going. Tchilish kiyas acham maskal v'nashmash chet asari v'nama v'rashmas v'shach. Yerideisim ereish samach b'ov sivkot yudal. So you can't be Makabel Shabbos and Baruch Hu, which most shuls it's already after Shkia, because what that's not as much of the Sefer Shabbos. Add some moments from Choy. Be Makabel the Sefer Shabbos. If you be Makabel Taka the Sefer Shabbos before the Shkia, can learn this parliament, can government, can these Sefer Shochanor. Similarly, some of Yamal Sefer Tetzaveh, Ach Kibul the Sefer Shabbos. Once he said Baruch Hu in Yochel the Spal, for the Shulchan, Spal Hartstein. Kana ben Shoyl Kados Malazas Lots Deshneim. So the question is, how do we work it all out? So there's two answers. According to Al Rebbe, the Shabbos doesn't begin. Number one, you could be Mekabel to Sefer Shabbos in a way of Itzum Yom or in a way of Isam Malacha, just Isam Malacha. So you're allowed to daven Mencha. The other thing is, even if you're Makabel Tzum we spoke about it. We'll talk about it then. That's true. Well, what's the big deal? And we see the Alter Rebbe Beferish doesn't have a problem with it because he writes, and we're going to learn in the Mitzvah Shem, Shabbos that B'Shas Atchak V'Diavad. I mean, he's talking about B'Shas Atchak that you could daven after Shkia, and now Alter Rebbe says that it's already you already have on you the union of the Sefer Shabbos. Alter Rebbe didn't see a contradiction between Melech and the Sefer Shabbos, but Eretz Tzvi thought that there is a contradiction. That's probably what Ibrahim has had in mind in his question. Nero only is daiti eitz of he says, I have a good eitz. A kabel Shabbos al tanai imelach kagayin in the Menesh Mashal Mask Metchil Shkir Zakama. The kabel tekif to Sefer Shabbos. Imelach kere benatan Menesh Mashal ein Maskalat Gimulari Mil Berevi Acher Shkir Zakama. V'chein kos of Tosus kere benatan. Skip the brackets. So then, Makabel to Sefer Shabbos, Shnei Minut Koydem Menesh Mashal Benatan. Kashach Yochel Spal Minster, the linear Minster, that I want to look at the Ramek, my foolish Beresh Pedig, Tfilas Shach, the linear Tfil David Kamar Abed, David Kamar Abed. Magabe, the last hour and quarter of the day, if you want to have in that time, like the opinion that it's Zman Minchot, like the opinion Zman Maided, you can do which you can pick and choose whichever you want. But Tamashim Safik Berman Lakula, Mashkas of Shagatzayis, Gimel. So that was it. A simple eight. Skip the brackets. He says. Then he says, "The Now, I didn't say it's mutter. You said b'shasat. You shouldn't be moich those people. Vim killing in tefillah. The Rabbanu Shabbos says, "Charaben Tamas yaite the dayin lo have ben shmoshes." Can I die with four Shabbos gamki? Shabbos mispal. Da kat lo chol to seven Shabbos. And your malach should the rice yachsh. It's fake the rice lo from the makagoin. That's a rabbi said. That's my rabbi. Like Rosh Hashanah. Because of the lachron lo chomait. Telling you. But that was his eight. What's his eight? Person says he says like this, and later I'll explain why he came up with the formula of 2 minutes is the Paraprisman of the Sefer Shabbos, the Sefer Shmochavah. He makes it tonight. He says, I'm going 2 minutes before the Goinims, in other words, which before sunset, I'm going to make the Sefer Shabbos. That's what the Goinim will be. If it's been a time right, it'll be basically an hour later. It will be 2 minutes before the Shkib Rabbeinu. And Lagabe Yisrael, because it's a Suffolk, he doesn't know who's right. So Lagabe Malach will be Machmi, like the Goyim. Lagabe Minch will be Mekel, like Rabbeinu Tam. And either way, he did 2 minutes before as the Sefer Shabbos. And Vagami Shemad Laknedis Batsa, Veretzelatsis, Das Habhag. But look at Choshek Kabbalah Shabbos. Even those that light the candle and want to be Yoitz is the Bahag Shita that Lok is considered Lok Shabbos. Canal, Yochels Parliament. To make this now and then a later. As far as Bahag, should the Mark plan Shabbos Shabbos Day gave Why did the Bahag say that the Kabbalah Shabbos is through lighting the candle? Because if you light the candle, you should be Kabbalah Shabbos right away. And anyway, we say Shalayach Shalayach Shenim Kabbalah Shabbos. Take him a bracha. Koydem the koydem. Kamay the also Barach Lam Yichtil. Koydem Shemenich Hamel Azrayim. You can't make a bracha on the film half hour before you put on the film. So therefore, that's why the Bahag said, Kabbalah Shabbos is through Adlok Saneis. It's a chiddush to say this. The Pasha is not the Pshat, the Bahag. Kabbalah Shabbos, Al Tanai, Shabbos, Mitzvah, Biyad. Mitzvah Sofik, the Hiraisa, Shabbos, also. But now that he made us tonight, Shabbos, whatever it is, it's like going, he's following them, and it's like following them. He's going like going. So, hey, when you lit the candles, consider Vilasiosa. And he's died to Oid Yochmas. Holy Mechayim. Bloch going and Yochmas Tomit to Sav Shabbos, name minute going, and Shkis Hammer, Bloch Grametam. Sav Shabbos, name minute, Benishmash, Lamb, Shabbos, down. You can make the snai once into a lifetime, it's good enough. It's 2 minutes before the Gonim, or 2 minutes before the Ramadan, and Lagab Malach, it'll be Machmi, not 2 minutes before Shkia, sunset, he's not going to do Malach. Lagab Midcham, we make home full 2 minutes before the Shkia Ramadan. Well, much because of Shiur Tetzaveh Shabbat, I have to really say that this whole Tanai, according to the Alter Rebbe. According to the Alter Rebbe, the Loch is really like the Goinim. So you can't make a Tanai, the Loch is really like the Goinim. And to make a Tanai, that maybe the Loch is like the Yehuda, maybe the Loch is like the Yosi. I don't know if you can make such a Tanai. The Gemara says you have to be Machmir, like the Yehuda, Azil like Rabbi Yehuda Lachum or Rabbi Yosi Lachum. I don't know if you can make Tanoim and such things. Also, it's a shorter amount of time anyway. Okay. Not that I come, he says to this idea that the Sefer Shabbos is 2 minutes. You know, who gave me this notion that it's 2 minutes? So he says, Mashklas Shiur Sefer Shabbos Minut Amar Dvarim. Dini Arosh Perek Kamevi. So he says, there can be a kol shur. Tetzaveh Shabbos has a pretty substantial amount of time. When is Barba Pesach Shurim? What's a substantial amount of time? 60 seconds or 60 minutes? What's a substantial amount of time? I want to prove from the Bahag that it's less than 2 minutes. About Hanukkah candles, mice, Shem Bahag, Tzarek Lager, Ner Chanukah Davkim, Shit Shakacham, Shabbos. To wait till the sun set, and then you can light Hanukkah candle, even there of Shabbos. Once the sun sets, Shabbos, Chil Shabbos, now I light a candle. No, we go like Rabbi Yosi, Dama, Shit Shakacham, she has a pavilion, Shilotachtan, whatever, if to read Tzarek Lagia, Rabbi Yosi, Dama, that there is, according to Rabbi Yosef, there is a discrepancy of 1.5 minutes. That according to Rabbah, it already started Meshmashas. According to him, Meshmashas starts at 1.5 minutes later. The Gemara Shabbos of Hamadal and the base, Meshach Hamakot Zimmer, Mizrach Madimir, the base, Shares of Takos of Hellion. Crying sham, whatever. Behin sham avur b'shaka sham ben hashmoshes. The base of the mil base b'mil shiur mil pluk tesapes mechaim minut chadal minut minut yakim. And can echt mil base mil chol yos and rak base minut. So it's between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes difference of Ram and Rabbi Yosef. We went through it the other day. If it's 9 parts of 12 or 8 parts of 12. So The difference is if it's 18-minute minish, if the meal is 18 minutes, if it's a minute and a half. Otherwise, it's a little more, up to 2 minutes. The kosher echech will have a mechanik echech skill in Yosef. Hot time comes to seven shops couldn't squeeze. Finish motion. Yeah, but we behag az we say like the seven shops. We're beran. Da wird da den mechanik wenn base in der base oder für ein shop. Was will I do this for the behag the seven shop. There is. So the behag said that you have to wait for sunset. And then you can light the Hanukkah ice Shabbos. Oh, don't worry. We're all like Rabbi Yosef. There's another minute and a half till Manish Moshe start. Okay, you have a minute and a half, but what's with the Sefer Shabbos? You have to have the Sefer Shabbos. So it must be that a minute and a half is enough time for the Sefer Shabbos and enough time to light the Hanukkah candle. Of course, the Bais Bezmut, Yishdai, let's polish to Sefer Shabbos. النويس كده شوخ بعد آخر شبيز خامد كيف تسافر شابس منين تسافر شابس أقصى من بيز منه I know that تسافر شابس now that it's a Swiss goes until Ubrava people heard it's only is brede but the Rabbanon is not brede the Reise so how is the whole eight going to work the whole regimen how it's going to work 20 page Daf Samarbov, second column. وبكوب now. The Mishnah Baruch Matzib Rasul is Parliament for Kibbutz Shabbos. Kosherly, he says, I don't understand. Taka, why Shulchan says that a person says Baruch can have a mincha. Why Taka? This is like a Monday morning. The Gemara says that Rav is Matzli Shalmat Shabbos B'Shabbos. We pass, and that person is honest. Person is going to be very busy Matzah Shabbos. Daven on Shabbos. Might have make a dollar. From Plagament, Bafagav the Dai Shabbos go. Third possible block. Guys, that will come up in Matzah. Matzilus Parliaments with Tfilas. He's allowed to daven that Tfilas Shalchor on Shabbos. And can't within count. After Kibbutz Shabbos, come and give it that dying Yom. Matzilus Parliament Chashalat Shabbos. I understand. Just like you could daven the Matzah Shabbos davening on Shabbos. Why can't you daven the Friday davening on Shabbos? He said the answer is the Hosa Mavdal Betfila beim Beferish Mavdal Shabbos Lachel. Hashtag Kavachim, he said. Where's the Kavachim? The Hosa Mavdal Betfila Mishmavdal Mekadosh Lachel, Koshkin, Kan Shemat, Lady Shem Davasham Choy, Rakshem Yachai Brach, Dena Gama Shabbos, Chai, Umisham Teir Shabbos Lachel, Mark Nisbe Brachas. Then you should feel this Choy, Ragshvila Mashkin Maskosha Shabbos. So what's the problem? Bavdel Kamon and Matin Ragbinus and Machatchil. Change by Kibbutz Shabbos, the Ebed, Vein Loyata, Eitz, Spalmech, and Lachon. Honest Godel Mezem. What's the big deal? Just like you could have a Maid on Shabbos. Why can't he have the Maid of a Matzah Shabbos on Shabbos? Why can't he have the Mincha Erev Shabbos on Shabbos? Okay, Nilon is 90. That if he said Baruch im Atzibur, Baruch hu adchol tfilas arbes, my time choshev to Shabbos. Over there, when a person says Baruch, you already started the tfilas Shabbos. You started already tfilas Shabbos. You can't have a mincha after Ma'ariv. Kimish kibul of lagay gaveling in tfilas arbes choshev tarik tfilas. I could have a mincha after Ma'ariv. Okay, I could have a shachris after mincha. I was just back kabbalah kabbalah shalei. I was sure the kabbalah shalei de Baruch. What was Mincha? Brilliant answer. Brilliant answer. I was just said the Morris Machpelah. I daven the Mincha Ma'ariv. Outside the Morris Machpelah, there's like 10 guys. They landed there straight from the 60s. Film, so it's already here. So I asked if they wanted that month. Yeah, I'll have that month. We'll take time and dancing. They'll daven mincha. But most of the guys were still wearing tefillin. After finish mincha, it was already been. It was already after shkia. Guys asked me if I want to join them for minyan for Shabbos. The thing is, after you daven mincha, you can't have Shabbos. After you daven ma'ariv, you can't have mincha. So the reason why you can't, once you said baruch, you started the ma'ariv. So after ma'ariv, you can't have mincha. So a poshut. Okay. Predator, der Rishon, Sif Tetzaveh, dem lo immer im Borf Mutche, Leilach, Ves Knesses, Acher, das Parlament. The din is that if he said Baruch he can't have Mencha. But if he didn't say Baruch even though Shabbos fell on him, because the community said Baruch he can go out of the shul and have Mencha. Hikshah, Prim God, Nabakar, Chol of Shabbos, because he's a Leal. If the community accepted Shabbos fell on him. So how is he about to have Mencha? The Tida, it's Tini Malach, Avanya, Tefillah. You can go out to the shul, say Mincha, but that will go with Tefillah. Malacha, Shabbos fell on him. Well, go with Tefillah, you can go out and have Mincha. Okay. He answered such a good teretz. I don't know why later in the next piece he says, "Well, give it. You may go to the nation. And Shabbos is feidish. After Shabbos are going. What is Paul Mincha? And Kenya Shlomo do it in Makabel Shabbos believe what is Paul Mincha because he was Makabel Shabbos believe. If he's a musha, push the name in Schweiz. Makabel Shabbos believe. Shasad Lakas Mineris. Lavs Malach. Amak Mut is Paul Mincha. Should I keep up the deal? I don't know why he has to say this. He already answered so good. You can't daven mincha after ma'ariv, but if you makabel Shabbos different ways, not mincha after ma'ariv, it's not a problem. We have to makabel say that the difference if you makabel Shabbos b'dibur b'machshava, basically. It's a huge difference. Erev Tzvi wants to make that after shki. This tonight, hold it going, hold it time. وجاب مؤخر جماعة الجوينم فكتب تفيلة ولا كلمة this is the essence that I'm on. Alter doesn't hold it. Alter holds only b'shas atcham because those types of halachas like the Goyim, how you're going to make a condition of this way it's that. At the end, he finds in it mishtafa meroch u'adres kodesh. Then he has a nice little piece which will be negated to what we're going to learn in the Alter Rebbe, the Siddur. The Alter Rebbe says that there's a 4 minutes discrepancy in Shkia between Haram HaGavoyim and the Tkolim. Real Shkia is from Haram HaGavoyim, but we take it in 4 minutes earlier. So the Avnei Neiser said, oh, Shlomo noted, to set for Shabbos is 4 minutes. He says, no, maybe the Alter Rebbe meant that the discrepancy is 4 minutes. And we use those 4 minutes as the set for Shabbos. Theoretically, 2 minutes is also good. That's a very good point. So, believe it at this. Believe it at this, Mitzvah Shem. We finished the Simon, so tomorrow, Beth Hashem is going to do maybe wrap up Simulation Chalam and get into Simulation on base. Noch Chaim. Fort is a little bit of a shaykhs tomorrow's failing because it's the only gate is man. Zemanim and Tefillah, what Shaykh is, Spider, is man and Tefillah, but Shaykh sometimes it's in the act. The dik it is, and anyway, it's a Shaykh daven mincha. If you daven mincha after Shkia, can't daven mincha after Shkia. The difference between what the Alter Rebbe holds and that it's tzvi is several differences. That it's tzvi's whole kunz only work on within this time frame. And it's also lechatchila, but according out, it's only the Ebed. Okay, Baruch Hashem, we're wrapping up the sugya. So Mitzvah Hashem we'll do the Shulchan Aruch, finish Simanei Machal, start Simanei Shalom Beis tomorrow. Best Hashem is born. Kol Tuv, good night.